Long before tinsel, fairy lights, and packed high street, Christmas began, not in noise or luxury, but in silence and starlight. In the small town of Bethlehem, Mary and Joseph arrived tired, cold, and turned away from crowded inns. With nowhere else to go, they took shelter in a stable, where animals warmed the air and straw softened the ground. There, Jesus Christ was born, and laid not in a cradle, but in a simple feeding trough, a manger. This moment is the true heart of Christmas, the celebration of the birth of Christ, a gift of hope to the world. Out in the quiet desert night, the wise men, also known as Magi, were watching the sky. They were scholars and astronomers, likely from Persia or Babylon. They followed a mysterious star, believing it marked the birth of a great king. Many don't realize they likely arrived months or even years later, and that the Bible never says there were exactly 3 men, only that there were 3 gifts. Those gifts were not random. Gold for a king, frankincense for worship showing divinity, and myrrh, a burial spice, which quietly pointed to Christ's future death. Few people know Mary and Joseph were probably teenagers, or that the stable was more likely a stone shelter or cave, not the wooden barn we imagine, or that the shepherds, the first visitors, were seen as unimportant in society, and yet they were chosen first. That night changed the world forever, and quietly, almost unnoticed, it also planted a seed that giving, humility, and kindness were more powerful than gold or crowns. Around 300 years later, that same spirit lived again in a quiet man named Nicholas, whose small, secret acts of kindness would over centuries grow into the legend of Santa Claus. Long before Santa, there was a real man called Saint Nicholas of Myra, born around the year 280 AD in the coastal town called Patara, in what is now modern-day Turkey. He became a Christian bishop and was known for his strange and beautiful habit of helping people in secret. The most famous tale tells of a poor man who had 3 daughters but no money to keep them safe. And under cover of darkness, Nicholas crept to their home and dropped small bags of gold through their window. Some say down the chimney, landing in stockings left by the fire to dry. From that quiet act came the tradition of stockings and secret gifts. He helped sailors lost at sea. He protected children. He sat with the sick and the forgotten. He gave without asking anything in return. When he died, he wasn't remembered as powerful, but as kind. His story travelled. In the Netherlands, he became Santa Claus. In Britain, he blended with Father Christmas. Wrapped in deep red robes, a frosted beard, and booming laughter, representing warmth and generosity in the dark of winter. The flying reindeer, the sleigh, and the North Pole came much later, shaped by poems and pictures. But beneath it all stayed the same heart, a man who believed no child should be forgotten. A British Christmas day feels very familiar. Windows misted from warmth, wrapping paper scattered across the carpet, the smell, that rich smell, comforting smell of Christmas dinner, filling every corner of the house. A mountain of food, roast turkey, roast potatoes, Brussels sprouts, pigs in blankets, stuffing, gravy. Everyone eats too much. It's part of the tradition. Then comes the food coma. Sofas taken over. Dad's asleep halfway through a film. Grandparents gently nodding. Children laying on the floor among open boxes and torn paper, slowly drifting off in a room that feels safe, warm and full. Then comes Boxing Day, the quiet twin of Christmas. It has nothing to do with fighting. It comes from old Christmas boxes, where churches and employees gave money, food and gifts to servants, workers and the poor on the day after Christmas. It was the day Britain remembered that generosity didn't end when the wrapping paper was cleared. Today, it's known for leftover turkey sandwiches, football on the telly, cold clear winter walks, family visits, and the occasional mad rush to the shops. But its meaning hasn't really changed. After celebration comes compassion. Across the world, children fall asleep with that soft Christmas feeling. Some wait for Santa, some listen for his footsteps, some just hope tomorrow might be brighter. But not everyone finds Christmas easy. Some sit in cold homes, some parents go without, some sleep under the streetlight, and this is where the true soul of Christmas lives. Not in decorations, not in presents, but in kindness. A warm meal, a donated toy, or even just a spare coat. A knock at the door to make sure someone's alright. This is what Christ taught. This is what Nicholas lived. The magic of Christmas isn't just lights or snow or music. It's families coming back together, old arguments softening, chairs pulled closer, voices laughing louder, hands held a little tighter. For a brief moment each year, the whole world slows down, and under the cold British skies, through softly glowing windows, we remember something old and true. Christmas is the celebration of Christ's birth, the spirit of giving, the warmth of family, and the quiet power of love without reward. As night falls and the plates are cleared, the tree still glows softly in the corner of the room. The story that began in a stable lives on in a warm living room. The kindness of St. Nicholas lives on in every gift quietly given. The spirit of Boxing Day waits to remind us of those in need. And somewhere in the world, a child smiles. That's what Christmas is about.